There we go. All right, and we should be live. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? So we're getting started. Another episode of Canon Culture. What's going on, people? So as I wait for the chat to load up and for you guys to get in here, good afternoon. How you guys doing today? It's your boy JustJaySama or Just Jared, but Jay is fine. So you know, for all the people that don't know me. So on today's episode, we're going to be talking about a few things, but one thing specifically, Black Panther. So we're going into that. We're going to talk a little bit about that, and I can't wait to continue, like, just really pressing that issue, how important this movie is. So if you guys weren't here last week for our pilot episode, we talked about the 3 C's, which are basically the 3 reasons why you should do anything involving when it comes to work or social life, personal stuff. So those 3 C's are: if you're doing something for cash, so that way you can afford to do things to accomplish your dreams. You're doing it for the clout, which is basically building yourself up a reputation. So if you're trying to get a job, then you need to get an internship, you need to learn to volunteer, you need to learn to do stuff for free, so you do stuff for the clout so people see you in a different light. Okay, build that resume up. And then number 3, you do it for the culture. Much like how I'm doing YouTube. I don't do YouTube for the money per se. I mean, there is some, occasionally there's some nice money, but I do it mostly for the culture, which is why I want to go back into acting, back into directing, back into producing and stuff like that. So it's mainly for people who look like me, who want to do the things that I want to do. So I have to set an example. So if I got to cut the cash, okay, yeah, I don't make that much, and then do it for the clout, so people were just like, yeah, you know what, I respect that guy, he hustled. And then you got to do it for the culture, so that way the people that come after you actually want to follow in your footsteps. But that was last week. If you guys missed that, there's going to be a playlist linked down in the description. You guys can check that out. So today, what's going on, guys? Welcome for all you guys just now coming into the chat. Today we're going to be talking about the difference between some of the trailers that have come out. I'm excited for Black Panther, of course, as any person of color really is, because it's very important to have a movie like this because of the amount of representation that is in this movie. I don't think a whole lot of people trying to make a big deal out of, oh, well, you know, it's not fair that black people get their own movie, this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, first of all, some of y'all just don't even understand. There is a literal superhero named after a country that steals from the people that live within it. Okay? So, let me just have Black Panther. Okay? I'm super excited for this. I'm actually so excited for this that hopefully one day, if my career can get to this point, I would love to be in Black Panther 2. That would be fucking dope. That would be amazing. But, you know, we'll have to get there eventually. So, this movie is actually very important because as I was reading an article that I found online done by Blavity.com, if you guys are not familiar with Blavity, it's basically like a black BuzzFeed almost, except without all the, like, cultural bias. No, there's still some bias. I mean, there's bias in any kind of news reporting site and stuff like that, but Blavity, I really like it because I respect a lot of the authors' opinions on there. There's this one guy, I think his name is Charlie, I can't remember his last name, but I could probably look it up right now, but that'll take too long. He's actually, I'm referencing an article he wrote, saying how important it is to the actual culture, just for people of color in general, whether they be black, Hispanic, Asian American, Native American. It's just showing that there is more to the silver screen than just what has been placed in front of us. And although it is a very I can't necessarily say white-run, like, you know, world, these things exist. Like, it's basically showing an example of, yes, there is an audience for these things that are made by people of color, for people of color, you know, stuff like that. So there's a need for that stuff. And there's a want for it, too. I mean, as much hatred as this is really getting, I know some people have tweeted me the Nigger Man meme, oh my god, where it's basically T'Challa and he has like a watermelon in his hand. I'm like, yo, what? Somebody who is very upset that their chicken is not seasoned with the right amount of ketchup is very upset at this movie, okay? So I really want to hammer it home. Ketchup, salt and pepper is not a seasoning, okay? I just want to let you know it's not a seasoning, all right? So whoever you are who is making these type of memes, and you know what's funny, it's probably going to come out that it was a black guy who made that meme. He's like, let me just go ahead and get it out of the way so that way everybody can have their fun or whatever, and then we'll just move on from there. So, you know what? Good on you. Get the hatred out of the way. The people bombing reviews already, like on IMDb, and then you know, there's people really defending that. Like, what about the people that genuinely don't like the movie? Now their constructive criticism is not going to be heard because it's going to be racist. And I'm like, if you're coming at somebody with that amount of fucking argument, first of all, you just sound ridiculous. Number one, because no matter how many legitimate bad reviews there are, you still need to like constructively look at every single one, because you're not sure which one is just literally filled with hate speech or one that's just, I genuinely did not like this movie because there's only 5 white people in it. So, you know, there's different ways to look at things, but if you're somebody who's just like blatantly just throwing dirt on this movie and people who like this movie, just like, oh, people are just watching it because it's a black movie. No shit. No shit, that's why we're watching it. Ask me why black people as a community came together in 2008 when Barack Obama ran for president. Oh, well, you don't even know his policy. You're just voting for him because he's black. Of course, because he's black. This is the most exciting thing to happen to black people since 2008. I'm just saying. It is really, I need to hammer that home. Yes, we are hyped because this is for the culture, okay? Not only is this specifically for the culture, about really putting representation out there that it doesn't matter where you grow up, it doesn't matter what your skin tone is, you can be a movie star if you wanted to. You can make dope ass movies. You can actually see yourself in some of these heroes, because to be honest with you guys, I've never looked up to a lot of superheroes. I mean, there's a couple that were like cool. I mean, you have your Batman, your Superman, Spider-Man, you got Iron Man, all these other ones. It's just like, we're the ones that fucking look like me, though. We're the ones that I can kind of vibe with and be like, yeah, you know what? That's specifically my hero. So now that we have that, yo, everybody needs to go see this fucking movie 3 times, okay? I'm going by myself opening night. I'm taking my brothers, because one of them, his birthday is in 2 days. Yeah, his birthday is in 2 days. No, his birthday's tomorrow. So I'm gonna take them to go see Black Panther, and then hopefully if I find a date or whatever, I'll take her. That's probably not gonna happen. I'm probably gonna end up going with Heavenly, unfortunately. But this movie is very important. So, and I also, just to get into the second part of what we were gonna talk about today, is this is really one of those things that kind of shows, okay, we've built this movie and it's accurate to the source material. It does the right thing. That's why a lot of people are just like, oh, Marvel's killing DC right now. As a DC fanboy, yes, Marvel is shitting all over DC. Oh my God, as much as I love DC and as much as I vibed with DC when I was a kid, because there was the Justice League, there was the comic books, there was Teen Titans, now there's Teen Titans Go, Static Shock, as I'm seeing in the comments. Yo, DC has some of the better properties because I grew up watching the animated series. Now, I grew up watching some of the animated stuff for Marvel, but let's get this straight, guys. I know I'm not the only nerd out there thinking, yo, Marvel's really killing it because their live action is on point. But you know what Marvel doesn't kill is the animated series. Like, they're starting to get there, but DC has always fucked shit up. Like, they just came in running through niggas with animated, because you had Batman the animated series, Superman the animated series, Static Shock, Justice League Unlimited, Batman Beyond. Like, all of these properties existed. And then when you think about it, according to Kevin Conroy, who is the original Batman, him and I believe 2 of the authors who wrote some of the DC comics or whatever, there's a congruent timeline from Batman the animated series, then it goes Superman the animated series, then Batman Beyond, then Justice League. Like, it's all within the same universe. So the fact that there was a cinematic universe, not even a cinematic, television animated universe before Marvel was even like, yo, we should make Blade a thing. Like, Blade is really what kicked off like a lot of like superhero stuff. I mean, there was also I don't remember if Spawn, I think Spawn is Dark Horse. I don't think that's Marvel. But then you also had Iron Man, Spider-Man. Like, some of those really kicked Marvel up into being like, yo, let's do some cross shit. And then Fantastic Four, all three of them. So, you know, I'm really excited to see that stuff. But really the point I'm trying to make here is that I think as a creator, as a YouTube creator, and as an aspiring writer, comedian, aspiring like whatever the fuck I want to be one day, I think more people should put like more nerds, like more fans should get into the movie industry. They should get into the entertainment industry, because you'll have, I know a lot of you guys saw Justice League. Justice League I thought it was amazing. I loved it. I personally really liked it. I thought it was better than the first Avengers, but just because I'm a DC fanboy and I've always wanted to see Batman, Superman, Aquaman, Cyborg, The Flash, all on the screen, the silver screen at the same time. So this just was like, I wasn't expecting much, so it just, what I got blew me out of the water. And first of all, shout out to Jason Momoa, okay? Because he is literally like, the movie's pretty good, but he is kind of like that golden thread that they put in between the two overlapping pieces to kind of really like stitch the movie together. And yo, he was dope. Like, he was my favorite part of the movie, man. So I'm really looking forward to a solo movie for him. But you have a lot of movies like this that I personally believe could be better. Like, they easily could be better if they were developed by fans instead of developed by studio heads. So, I mean, not saying that studio heads don't know how to run their own business, because they've been doing it forever and they're making billions of dollars off of these properties. But I mean, when you're a comic book fan, or when you're an animated, you know, show fan, or when you're a Marvel or a DC fan, you want to see some type of, what's up, Heavenly? You want to see some type of, like, keep it a little consistent with the source material. And I remember I was talking to my buddies about this, and it was like, yeah, there's so much they could have done better with this movie if it was developed by a fan. Now, I personally love Zack Snyder's work. I love a lot of the things that he works on, a lot of the things that he directs, produce, and it's dope almost every single time. But I think in this particular situation, it could have been written better, because this whole, like, giant elaborate storyline rip in time crap that they were trying to pull with Flashpoint and all this other stuff, and then Batman versus Superman being adjusted the way it was, I'm like, yo, we don't need it set up like this. Because if you watch the animated series, like The Dark Knight Returns, that's a really good one. If you guys have ever seen the animated version of that, not the, Christopher Nolan version, this is literally where Batman is like 50, 60 years old, being a vigilante, is outlawed and shit like that. The only person who is really protecting the planet is Superman at this point. And the government's like, yo, we gotta take Batman out. He's just doing the most. And so they send Superman after Batman, only for Batman to trick him into believing that Superman killed him, and Batman ended up beating the shit out of this guy. And I remember there was one specific line in this movie where he had Green Arrow, who's missing an arm, by the way, shoot him with a kryptonite arrow as he caught it in his hand, and he inhaled the dust. And he told him, he said, oh, I bet you feel it now. I bet you feel what the rest of us feel every single day. What it's like to be vulnerable. What it's like to be human. And so, like, as he's, like, punching this dude in his fucking face, his face is getting all bloodied and shit. He's like, I want you to know that nobody on this planet, not a single person except for one man, was able to beat you. And I was like, yo, this is why Batman is the GOAT. And so none of that transpired in the live action movie. You had a little bit of that where Ben Affleck goes, do you bleed? And I'm like, that could have been performed better. And then Doomsday, the whole Doomsday thing was kind of weird. Lex Luthor, like, he could have been Lex Luthor Jr. or whatever the fuck he was supposed to be. Could have definitely been way better. I feel like they were trying to go for this, like, menacing, smart Joker type thing. First of all, not every character needs to be fucking Joker. First of all, can we just bury Heath Ledger? Yes, by far, he is one of the best fucking Jokers, period. Great. But he will never beat Mark Hamill. He just can't. You know why? Because Mark Hamill is the Joker. He is there would be no Joker legacy without Mark Hamill in the animated series. I'm just saying. Heath Ledger, best live action, Mark Hamill, best period. So, you know, that's just one of those things that you have. So, and don't worry, guys. Yes, I am seeing the chat as it goes by. We're at about 15 minutes now. So in about 5-6 minutes, I'll do nothing but answer the chat for the last 10 minutes. But I am seeing everything in the chat. So, you know, there's plenty of times where I feel like fans could develop a much better storyline, a much better everything when it comes to making these live action films. But what I will give it to is the fact that studios are not trying to make these movies for the fans. And having a conversation with my buddy Heavenly Controller the other day, we established that there is 70% of the audience, Joker Skywalker, there's 70% of the audience that they just assume doesn't know shit. They're just gonna assume that nobody knows about Batman, Superman. It's safer to just assume and just go in for dummies, because there's 30% of the people that are diehard fans of these comic books. They're diehard fans of good stories and stuff like that. Those are the people that are automatically gonna guarantee to go see the movie. So we're really just trying to sell to that other 70%, so that way, oh, if you've never seen a Superman movie before, or you know nothing about Superman, we need to market this to where you'll enjoy this movie. So we don't want to put too much backstory in it where there's a bald black dude shows up with a green rock in his hand smacking the crap out of Superman. It's just like, I don't understand. What's the green rock for? I don't get it. This movie sucks. But that other 30%, they know what it is. So really, in order to make your money, you know, when you're making a $200 million film and you want to make at least $1 billion on it, it's like, all right, yeah, we're going to have to market to that other half. So, you know, I get it. I get why they do certain things and I get why they don't do certain things. But I think this is kind of the time where I think a lot of these like YouTubers who review movies and stuff like that need to put the reviews down. Take that L. Start doing it for the culture, man. Take that L about the cash and start making your own films, because you'll have channels that are dedicated to doing nothing but making movies. You'll have Rocket Jump, you'll have Corridor Digital, you have Casey Neistat, McKinnon? What the fuck is that guy's name? He's friends with Casey Neistat, John McKinnon, I think his name is. These guys are movie makers. They make movies. So then they should get together with these movie reviewers like Black Nerd. Like that guy, when he reviewed Ninja Turtles, he actually made it sound like it was a movie I wanted to watch. Now, I've never been a huge fan of the Ninja Turtles just because it's just weird. It gives me a weird vibe or whatever. But I've just never been a fan of Ninja Turtles, ever. So for me to get excited about going to see a Michael Bay Ninja Turtles movie, I'm like, bro, the way this guy described this movie was like it was the second coming of Jesus. And I'm like, yo, I gotta go buy my tickets. Went to go see this fucking movie, and it was one of the worst experiences of my life. And it wasn't because of the movie, it's because I decided to go to the fucking Magic Johnson Theater to go see it. And my buddies who I went with were just so mad because they were the cheapest tickets in town, and we just had to deal with, hey, yo, cuz, turn the movie up. I can't hear it. There was all sorts. Niggas was bringing in popcorn and chicken and all sorts of shit. Niggas was taking their shoes off and putting it up again. First of all, when you're in a row where somebody is kicking the seat behind you, hey, yo, my man, you mind not doing that? Hey, shut up, cuz. I'll beat the fuck out you. Okay, all right, it's cool. It's cool. We good, man. I ain't even come here for all that. I don't, man, shit, you know, it's all, hey, man, it's all good. You know, my lady, she wanted to come see this. She did. She went, you know, she stood me up or whatever. Yeah, I'm just here with my homeboys. Yeah, we cool though. Hey, pass the chicken, my nigga. Come on. Hey, you got some Kool-Aid over there? So, couldn't even enjoy the movie, man. It wasn't even something that I could really get into. So I can't hold the movie at that fault, but the few parts where I was paying attention to the movie was just like, okay, we're doing this. This is the movie we want to go with. All right, you know, that's great. And I think a lot of movies, to kind of go back on what I was saying, a lot of movies comic book movies do really good when you have fans developing them. Like Deadpool, for example. Deadpool was probably one of my all-time favorite superhero movies because Ryan Reynolds is a fan of Deadpool. He's read the comics. He's paid attention. He's even played the fucking video games, for God's sake. Like, he understands the character that is Deadpool. And that's why some of my favorite actors are characters who embody their character and they pay attention to it. They read the comics. Hugh Jackman. I could never see anybody else, maybe one other person, play Wolverine other than Hugh Jackman. Like, it's just been developed and embedded in my brain, and he's a fan of Wolverine. He enjoys the comic books. He enjoys X-Men. And then you'll have, once again, you'll have Ryan Reynolds. You'll have, what's his name? Chadwick Boseman. He actually read the Black Panther, I almost said anime. The Black Panther comic book. You'll have Michael B. Jordan. When he was playing, even in Fantastic Four, he went back and he read Fantastic Four comic books and like paid attention. Like, this is what Johnny Storm is like. And so I think he gave a great performance in that movie. And so now that he's playing Eric Killmonger, he's actually like a fan of it. It's not like he went back. Like, these are comics that he read growing up. And so they're going to provide a great performance for this movie. And so now the final thing I want to talk about before we really jump into it, because we're at the 20-minute mark, and then I'm going to jump into the comments and stuff like that for you guys. Because I want this to only be a 30-minute show and stuff like that, and all we did was talk about comic book movies. We didn't talk about any hip-hop or anything like that today, so I'll try and get to that tomorrow. This Venom trailer, man. This Venom trailer. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about this for a second, then I want to see what you guys in the chat think, because we have 57 people in the live stream today. Thank you guys for showing. Yo, this is... Y'all my niggas. First of all, shout out to you guys. Thank you, Noah, for the sub. Shout out to you guys, first of all, for being so dope and actually showing up to another episode of Canon Culture. I appreciate you guys showing up. So, this Venom movie, look, I'm not gonna say it looked like trash. I'm gonna say this trailer put together was not very good. But I could also see why. So a lot of things that we complain about in the movie community, because I believe there is a movie community, is not that there wasn't enough or there was too much. There was no Venom. Like, there was no Venom. They show the symbiote in the tube and that's it. So I'm like, oh, that's great for a 30-second teaser. Exactly. So I don't think there should have been a minute and a half of running, explosions, and nightmares and stuff like that. There's only 2 instances where they show the tube, and they show when he's in the CAT scan machine, and if you look at his neck, there's like these black marks coming up from his neck. That's about it. Okay, I get it. So this is one of those movies where Venom's not going to show up until halfway through it. The good thing about this trailer is they didn't show too much, which... in movies nowadays, yo, the trailer shows the entire movie. You literally get spoiled from trailers. So I like that about this movie, that it showed nearly nothing. It didn't show any of the plot. It didn't show anything. They didn't show Spider-Man. They didn't show Venom. They didn't show Carnage. Great. Cool. Let my brain think that this is Mission Impossible 5 with superheroes, okay? Let me just do that. The bad part is they did not introduce any comics whatsoever. There's like nothing involving comics. The least they could have did was do like some of the Avengers trailers and show some of the background stuff. So had they shown clips from Spider-Man Homecoming in there, and like at the beginning, you know, they should have painted this movie as a horror instead of an action thriller type of movie. Like, I'm not super excited for it, but Tom Holland's gonna be in it. I mean, I hope they actually casted Jim Carrey as Carnage. If Carnage is in the movie, that would be really dope. But there's just something about this movie that intrigues me, because Venom is by far one of my favorite villains of all time in all of Marvel Comics. Venom was this character, if you guys are familiar, if you guys are even old enough, first of all, shout out to if you guys played the Spider-Man game on the PlayStation 1, okay? That game was probably one of the hardest fucking games I've ever played. And there's a part where you're going up against Venom, and he is literally the most difficult boss I've ever faced in all of video games, now that I can remember it. I mean, he's just dope. And then the combination of him and Eddie Brock, Eddie just being this like super jockey dude who wants to be a nerd and like wants to be involved and wants to fit in. That's the story that they painted for Eddie Brock. That vibed with me as a kid, because when I was in elementary going to middle school, like I ended up getting on my middle school's football team for a while, and that was really fun. But I was also really nerdy because of the glasses and the people I hung out with. Like, nobody takes you seriously when you have glasses, first of all. It's just like, okay, my eyes are fucked up, okay? This has nothing to do with my intellect. I just want you to know that my eyes are physically fucked up, okay? So when people call you Four Eyes but you're on the football team and you're just like, I could fuck you up right now. So them portraying Venom as this character has just always been dope to me. So I've always loved Venom, and then going into Marvel Nemesis on the PS2 and then all of the other Marvel games that came out, it was just fucking dope. So Venom has by far been one of my favorite characters ever. And then there's Carnage, who's kind of like the wacky doodle, like what if we fused Spider-Man and the Hulk and Joker together all in the same character. So, you know. But that's just how I feel about it. I'm not saying the movie's gonna be bad. I think it's too soon to judge. Or Kevin Bacon as Carnage, that would be dope. I think it's a little too soon to judge the Venom movie just yet. I would have liked to see this movie painted as a horror movie instead of an action kind of suspense thriller or whatever it's supposed to be. But this is why I don't make movies. I mean, nobody has really paid me, hey Jay, you know, here's $200 million, what can you do with it? Let's start casting and stuff like that. So until that actually happens, we'll see where it goes. Because I've talked many a times about how to make anime movies great. Like the Death Note movie, that would have been dope if I made it. Like, I would have kept the casting exactly the same or whatever, we just would have shot it differently. It would have been a horror movie, and it would have been fucking amazing. I'm just saying. So, now I'm going to get into the comments. I'm going to try and scroll back for a little bit. Thank you guys for showing up, all 50 of you guys in the live stream. So, somebody asked, am I excited for Black Panther? Of course I am. It's in the thumbnail. You guys saw it. Would you see a Ghost Rider or Blade movie? Yeah, if they made a... Ghost Rider I liked, Blade Trinity, all the way up until Blade Trinity. I thought they were dope movies. So that's really good. I even liked that shitty Wolverine movie everybody hated. Not the Wolverine, but X-Men Origins. I like that one. Let me see. What else are you guys talking about? I want to see how Venom is going to look. Yeah, you know what? I don't think they should reveal that in the trailer. I don't think they should. I think they should leave it up to the symbiote and reveal that in the movie. Leave that inside the movie. I want to actually have to go see the movie in order to see what Venom looks like. He said, I don't need to see the suit, to be honest. Exactly, yeah. Do you know the way, my brother? I know the way all the time. Yeah, Heavenly Controller's in the chat. Say what's up to Heavenly, guys. For a teaser, it was perfect. The amount keeping us waiting for another trailer. Yep, I do believe that. The production quality was really good. We don't need another Batman versus Superman. Another one? I don't know. Maybe Injustice storyline would be really cool. I would like to see that. He said, I spit on the Venom trailer. That's mad disrespectful. Who the hell gave the stream a dislike? Somebody who's upset that I like both Marvel and DC because apparently you're not supposed to. He said, I remember that helicopter mission. Yeah, where you jump into the building and then the building is like shaking up and down and you had the Spider-Man and Venom voice lines. Yeah, that shit was dope. His nigga going crazy because of a movie trailer. You think the new Spider-Man cartoon is gonna be trash? The Spider-Verse? Nah, that's gonna be dope. Oh my god, there's gonna be so many actual like Spider-Men in this movie. Like, yo, I can't believe it. It's gonna be dope. I've always wanted to see Miles Morales like on screen. So I don't know. I don't know where this is gonna go. You know, everything's kind of up in the air when it comes to Marvel because their animated stuff is getting really good and their live action stuff is great. It's DC I'm worried about because without competition breeds like they're just gonna be able to do whatever the fuck they want with the market. And if DC doesn't find a way to compete, like, you know, I'm cool with the people that they've casted so far. You know, I'm even cool with Jared Leto being Joker. I mean, he's a different version of Joker. I like to see different versions. That's like when they went from Batman Origins in the games, and they, instead of using Mark Hamill, they used Troy Baker, who, shout out to Troy Baker, is probably one of the greatest fucking voice actors of all time. Like, this guy literally does everything. Like, it's just so strange. Like, I'm too busy hearing him as Joel from The Last of Us, and then all of a sudden he's the Joker. Like, that range on this man's talent is just fucking amazing. Jay, if you put your face on Black Panther in the thumbnail, I would have died. Okay, I'll do that for when the live version of this video comes out. I'll Photoshop my face on there. How about that? I hated the Logan movie. Woo, you go ahead to get the hell out of my chat, bro. You go ahead to get the hell out. That was probably one of the greatest, the Logan slander. I can't. The only Logan that we slander is Logan Paul. Thank you very much. He said, hey, here from my brother Heavenly Controller. What's up, Toe Liquor? I'm glad you showed up. Be gone, thought. The Logan slander will not be tolerated. The Justice League movie was ass. Wow, bro, you just really don't like anything, do you? So are you excited for this movie? Of course I am. I'm very, very, very excited for Black Panther, for the culture. What's up, Heavenly Wolf? Yeah, I'm just seeing people slander this guy. Like, let's see. Heavenly, come out here. Let's see. We're waiting on the black kid for Spider-Man. You know what? I think that'll be a really cool turn for Marvel to take in this universe. Is I want to see what happens at the end of Phase 4 going into Phase 5. That's what I would love to see. I want to see what happens with Thanos. I want to see what happens with all that, because I'm pretty sure Fox owns the rights to Galactus, I think. I'm pretty sure they still do. No, because Disney is buying Fox. So they might, yeah, I think Disney probably I think they probably bought it. So they now have a chance to do Galactus. They have a chance to put all of the X-Men in there, because if they bought the rights to it, they still can cast all the same people. I mean, I wouldn't really want to pay for Hugh Jackman. I would really want to give another actor a chance to play Wolverine, so I would probably just have him taken out. The only other actor I would have liked to have play Wolverine is, what's his name? What's the guy's name? He's playing Venom? How is it that I can't remember dude from Mad Max? Like, I was talking, what is his name? Tom, god damn it. Of all times, I can't remember somebody's name. Like, Jesus Christ. Tom Hardy. That's what how did I forget Tom Hardy? Tom Hardy's the only other actor I could see playing Wolverine. That's it. Anybody other than that, I'm just like, nah, I'm cool. So, if I had to cast anybody, yeah, it would be him. Let's see. Live action Miles is going to be a while since Peter was just introduced. I don't know. They could probably do both, because it's up in the air now. Like, everything is acceptable at this point. Literally everything is on the table. So you can't rule stuff out immediately. So you said, bro, have you seen Devilman Crybaby? It's so lit. That's an anime, and we're not talking about anime today. So, and that's also on Netflix. And I don't have a Netflix account. So, you know, I'm not watching anything on Netflix. And then one other thing I wanted to talk about before we do the last bit of closing, because we're at 32 minutes here in our show, because I'm actually getting notifications about people showing up in the live stream, which thank you guys once again for showing up. There is a partial chance for Kevin Feige to combine the Netflix series characters with the MCU. Now we all know, if you guys have seen any of the Marvel movies or any of the Marvel TV shows, you know that they are all connected. They're all taking place within the same universe, because that's what kind of sets off the origin of Luke Cage and Daredevil and Jessica Jones and all that stuff, where they reference the aliens coming out of the sky and the Avengers fighting them and stuff like that. This clearly is within the same universe. So, it's a possibility that it could happen, because I was reading this article where, of course, I'm fucking drawing blanks on everybody's name. Let me actually look this up. He was, okay, there we go. Ryan Coogler was in an interview, and I don't know what website it was for. I'm going to have to cite my source in a little bit. And they were just, ooh, somebody talking shit. They were discussing the possibility of a Luke Cage Black Panther crossover at some point. And so he said, unfortunately, I don't make the decisions when it comes to stuff like that, but if Kevin Feige were to think that it was a good idea for it to happen, it definitely would happen. So, on the table, it's a possibility. It is within the realm of the possibilities that Luke Cage could one day be on the same screen as Black Panther. And I'm so excited that that's a possibility, because that opens up to so many more people getting hired, so many more people working on shows, so many more people just in general being a part of this industry. And I think that is the most important thing, because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but a lot of actors get cast for a lot of things pretty consistently. And there's not a whole lot of people of color out there. I want to see more Hispanic people in movies. I want to see more Asian people in movies. I want to see just tons of shit. And as much as I would like to play a character in the MCU, and I've talked about this numerous times, when I finally do get more of my acting chops up, when they finally do announce that Nova is coming to the MCU, and when they cast Nova, I hope that they cast a Hispanic guy. I hope that they don't do the what is it? Something Ryder. I forget his name. He's the first Nova that shows up. I hope they cast a black guy. I hope they cast me, honestly, but that's probably not gonna happen. That's, you know, I want to speak it into existence that it is gonna happen, but I'm just not nearly there yet. Like, I got to get my acting chops way the fuck up. I got to find a nice agent, a nice manager to really put me in that position and really put myself in that position. So I would really like to see more characters played by other race characters. So that's just the way I see it. I mean, you guys may not agree, you guys may disagree, or you guys might like the idea, but that is just where I personally feel about it. So, you know, and then we got a couple of other questions. Do you consider yourself better than Heavenly? By 1,000%, okay? Just because you got subscribers don't mean nothing. Let's see. They need to put Mortal Kombat in the DC universe. You, sir, need to get the fuck out. Thank you for playing. What would their common goal be? I don't know, man. That's like saying, you know, if aliens are attacking attacking New York, bro, what's a common goal? Why do I need Black Panther here? Like, I got Iron Man. So, you know, Nova is Hispanic though. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. So, you know, we'll see where that goes. But anyway, guys, you know my rule. Whatever it is that you guys are going out and doing this week, I hope you guys have a great week. We will be live streaming tomorrow, also at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow. We'll probably talk about some more controversial stuff. I know a lot of you guys were interested in yesterday's podcast, Heavenly podcast, by the way. So if you missed that, I'll also include a link in the full version of this video. We were talking a lot about sex bots and stuff like that. So if you guys missed that, we'll talk a little bit about it on Tuesday's show tomorrow. And of course, if you guys want to submit anything, absolutely anything, it doesn't matter what it is, and you want me to take a look, or you want to issue your opinion and stuff like that, the Discord link is in the description, so you guys can go click on that, join the Discord, put in your submissions. You guys can talk about literally whatever the fuck you want, and then it might end up on tomorrow's show, or it'll end up on Wednesday's show, whatever the fuck you want. It could be your opinion, even if it's JaySama, explain to me why you why you fucking suck, or whatever. You guys want to troll in there, go for it. I'll give you the attention, I'll give you the time of day, because I know some of you guys don't get that at home, and I'm your favorite YouTuber, so I can understand why you want my attention. But I love every single one of you guys. Remember, going forward this week, whether you guys are going to work, going to school, have a bigger picture in mind, okay? I want you guys to stay positive, okay? That is the vibe of this show. It's all about positivity and working and doing things for the culture. So, once again, let me remind you guys the things that you do this for. The 3 C's, okay? You do it for the cash, so that way you can afford and do all of the stuff that all your hopes and dreams. You want to travel and do all the sorts of cool shit, take care of your family, whatever. If you're not doing it for the cash, bro, why are you doing it? If you're not doing it for the clout, that's the second of the 3 C's. If you're not doing it so people respect you and put you in a higher regard of just like, yo, he really took a bullet so that way he could achieve his dreams and shit like that, even if it means working for free, getting an internship, whatever it is, bro, do it for the clout, so you have that respect to make moves forward. And if you're not doing it for the culture, why are you fucking doing it? Do it for the culture, for the people that come after you. Even if you're taking an L constantly and you're making YouTube videos for people who don't give a shit about you, bro, you gotta remain positive, because it's all about a bigger picture, okay? And those are the 3 C's, guys. This has been your boy Jay. I will catch you guys tomorrow. Make sure to keep it canon, and I love you guys so much. Catch you guys next time.